This is London Cruz, Corporate Secretary of the USA Niagara Development Corporation. I would like to take a roll call of the directors. Please say present when I say your name. Director Francine Del Monte.
Present.
Director Mike Williamson.
Present.
Director Paul Minula.
Present.
Thank you, directors. I am now going to read off the names of additional participants that I believe are on the line. Please say present when I say your name. Anthony Villardo.
Present.
Paul Tronello.
Present.
John Rizzio.
Present.
Rob Sozansky.
Present.
Steve Gaulis.
Present.
Jason Murgia.
Present.
Paul Ray. Paul Ray.
He had to hop on to another call at 11:30.
Okay, thank you. Kathleen Mines.
Present.
Eugene Kwiatkowski.
Present.
Debbie Royce.
Present.
Mayor of Niagara Falls, Robert Restaino.
Present.
Elizabeth Fine.
Present.
Thank you. We have a quorum for this meeting and can begin. Chair Del Monte, you may now commence the meeting.
Thank you, London. I would like to call to order the meeting of the directors of the USA Niagara Development Corporation for Wednesday, March 25th, 2020. I will ask that everyone mute their phone until you are ready to speak. Also, for the record, I will ask that anyone wishing to speak to please state your name before speaking. I'd like to note for the record that due to public health concerns and as authorized by an executive order of the governor, this meeting will be conducted by teleconference. I will also note for the record that the public has been given the opportunity to comment on the agenda items by submitting their written comments at or before 10 a.m. today to USA Niagara DM at ESD.ny.gov. I'd like to further note for the record that no comments were received from the public concerning today's agenda items. The directors have received the relevant written materials in advance of today's meeting and are free to ask questions at any time. Before we begin with the substantive portion of the meeting, I would like to ask the directors whether anyone has any potential conflict of interest with respect to the items on the agenda. If so, I'd like to ask you to please make an appropriate disclosure on the record at this time. We will then be sure that you may recuse yourself from any discussion or vote regarding this item. Hearing none, I'd like to call upon Anthony Villardo to present the first item on today's agenda, a request for approval of the corporation's fiscal year 2020-21 annual operating and capital budgets. Anthony, when you're ready, please.
Thank you, Chairwoman and Directors. We appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to do this teleconference with us today. The fiscal 2021 operating budget for the corporation is $752,933, along with that consists of $624,000 in personnel services and $128,000 in non-personnel services. Our corporation's capital budget for the 2021 year is $27,900,603. It's anticipated that this proposed funding will cover our costs related to our strategic acquisition program, the Hotel Niagara restoration, the closeout of the Hyatt Place and Women's Garden project, and to complete it of the Cataract Commons. Also design services during construction for the Niagara Gorge Corridor Parkway removal project. I have any questions, I'm happy to take those now.
Are there any questions or comments from the directors regarding this item? As noted earlier, we do not have any comments from the public with regards to this item. I'd like to now entertain a motion for approval, and please state your name before speaking. May I have a motion?
Board Member Mike Williamson, so moved.
And a second?
Board Member Paul Minula, move.
All in
Seconded.
favor?
Seconded. Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Anthony, please present the next agenda item relating to, among other things, a request for approval of the Niagara Falls Convention and Conference Facility and Old Falls Street calendar year 2020 operating and capital budget.
Thank you, Chairwoman and Directors. For the year 2020, the funding source for the Conference Center of Niagara Falls and Old Falls Street will be an appropriation in the New York State budget made possible through the Buffalo Regional Innovation Cluster, aka Buffalo Billion Phase 2. The proposed operating budget for the Conference Center is $332,000, all inclusive with incentive fees, and Old Falls Street budget is $659,000, all inclusive, for a total operating budget of the two entities at $992,000 for the year. Our proposed capital budget for both entities, $399,630. That's $295,000 for Conference Center and $104,000 for Old Falls Street. Our capital budget includes improvements to our event center, technology upgrades, building upgrades, and emergency repairs for Conference Center. And for Old Falls Street, it includes street repairs, furniture for Cataract Commons, and interactive activities. The combined operating and capital budget with incentive fees is $1,391,799. I will take any questions at this time.
Directors, any
No
questions?
questions.
Or questions? Okay, thank you. We do not have any comments from the public with regard to this item. May I have a motion for approval?
Director Paul Minula, approved. Or moved. Director Williamson, second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Anthony now will present a request for, among other things, authorization to enter into a contract for demolition and site preparation services. Anthony, please.
Thank you, Chairwoman. On August 18th of 2018, our Board of Directors approved the acquisition of a large portfolio of downtown Niagara Falls properties as part of the strategic land acquisition program funded through the second phase of Governor Cuomo's Buffalo Billion Economic Development Initiative. Due to the size and extent of our real estate portfolio, the corporation is pursuing a strategic approach to redevelopment that will prioritize development on blocks with existing commercial and residential uses and will require temporary stabilization measures on some other properties. These are two of those properties. The property at 492 Main Street, the site of the former Roadway Inn Motel, and the site of 427 First Street contains a former snow park, artificial tubing, and sledding facility. Due to the size of this property and assemblage and our multiple redevelopment ventures, the interim plan for this property is to allow the City of Niagara Falls to continue temporary operate parking on the site, with the existing surface lot remains as follows. We had previously contracted with Labella Engineering for the construction administration and services associated with these properties. And on January 24th of this year, we advertised in the New York State Contract Reporter a bid request for the demolition of these structures. 3 sealed bids were received by the corporation on February 19th at 2 p.m. And we are proposing to enter into a contract with the lowest responsive bidder, Regional Environmental Demolition Incorporated. They specialize in demolition and asbestos removal and have included all budget separation and dismantlement. The term of the contract will be for approximately 120 days from the award date, and it's estimated, which is estimated in this month. The substantial completion date is estimated to be May 15th, 2020, with a final completion date expected by July 3rd, 2020. I will entertain any questions you have at this time.
Directors, any questions or comments?
No questions. No questions.
I'm sorry, Paul, please.
No questions.
We do not have any comments from the public with regard to this item. May I have a motion of approval, please?
Board Member Williamson, so moved. Board Member Nanula, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Thank you. The motion carries. Anthony, would you please present the request for authorization to enter into a contract for consultant services?
Thank you, Chairwoman. On December 6th of 2019, USA Niagara and the City of Niagara Falls announced plans to undertake the adaptive reuse of the remaining mall space as a civic improvement project at the Rainbow Center. Guided by the recommendations of a panel of experts from the Urban Land Institute, the project will establish greater public access and walkability, create commercial opportunities, and modernize parking resources to support new and existing businesses at and near the site. These modifications will create up to 200,000 square feet of available space that could be repurposed for uses that would benefit downtown Niagara Falls, including attractions and other entertainment venues, or partnerships with the Culinary Institute of Niagara County Community College. USA Niagara and the city has signed a project term sheet which will allow USA Niagara to procure and retain at our expense consultants necessary to develop plans and specific specifications necessary to allow the construction of the project. We, USA Niagara, will contribute all project costs up to a maximum amount to be agreed to between USA Niagara and the city upon approval of a final project budget and program. On December 31st of this year, we received 4 proposals for the redesign and adaptive reuse of this building. A committee was formed consisting of 6 members, 5 from USA Niagara, Empire State Development, and 1 from the City of Niagara Falls, to evaluate these proposals. The committee scored the proposal for Marvel Architects as the highest and are recommending that Marvel is the most qualified firm to meet the objectives of the project to the board of directors. Marvel is one of the world's leading adaptive reuse architectural practices and has completed almost 24 adaptive reuse and historic projects on various scales. Their holistic design includes an urban design unit, which helps them to consider the impact of their work at the neighborhood, district, and regional scale. The primary goal is activation, creating sites that are vital, walkable, multimodal, and will serve audiences and groups throughout the day and all seasons of the year. The staff was really, really excited that Marvel chose to submit on this project. They're very innovative, and we're really confident we're going to get a phenomenal project in partnering with them. At this time, I will take any questions from the board.
Directors?
No questions.
We do not have any comments from the public with regard to this item. May I have a motion for approval? And please state your name before speaking.
Paul Nanula, approved. Director Williamson, second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Now, directors, if you'll just please stay on the line. Jason Murgia, General Manager of the Conference and Event Center of Niagara Falls and Old Fall Street, is going to introduce an item being presented to the directors for information purposes only. The no votes will be required.
Excuse
Thank
me,
you.
Director Williamson, I have to step away from the meeting.
Understood.
Thank you.
Michael, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Chairwoman, Del Monte and Director Nanula, I will be extremely brief in my comments. As we know, the Conference and Event Center's main mission is to provide economic impact beyond our 4 walls. And how do we do that? We do that by driving overnight guests, heads and beds, if you will, in Niagara Falls, and we increase or grow gross revenues for the conference center. When we last spoke in March of 2018, it was the best gross revenue in the history of the building. I'm extremely proud to report today that 2019 beat 2018 in gross revenues and all other key benchmarks. We had a 7.25% increase in actual gross revenue compared to 2018. we were 62% better in actual net loss versus our budgeted loss. Just a few other key benchmarks or matrix. When we talk about room nights from 2004 to 2019, we saw an almost 2,400% increase. Our room rate from 2004 to 2019, we had a 56% increase. When we talk about our revenue types and our revenue segments and markets that we go after, from 2015, we made a strategic move to identify conventions, consumer shows, and special events as our most profitable type of businesses that drop the highest revenue to the bottom line, but more importantly, provide economic impact beyond our four walls. When we talk about consumer shows from 2015 to 19, we saw a 64% increase. Conventions, which is the most powerful impact relative to downtown economic impact, we saw a 131% increase in the convention center market. Just a couple other benchmarks I would like to share with you. From 2012 to 2019, our room rate has increased 150%. The average room rate increased 28%. And as far as I'm concerned, as a general manager and as a member of our community, from 2012 to 2019, we saw the economic impact exceed over 185%. From 2012, it was just shy of $3 million. To 2019, we represented over $8.6 million of economic impact. Again, moving briefly and extremely close, relative to the Old Fall Street, for 2019, our actual gross revenue beat budget revenue by over 4%, and our actual net loss versus budgeted net loss was 8% better for Old Fall Street. Again, I'm being very brief and cognizant of everyone's time. At this time, that will conclude my update presentation for the conference center in Old Fall Street relative to 2019.
Jason, thank you for your comments, and I would say good news in terms of overall development and revenues brought in by the conference and convention center. I suspect, as many others do, this is going to be a very challenging year, but you certainly can build on your success, and when hopefully life returns to a more normal state, generate those avenues that you have already built strong relationships with, and hopefully get everything back on track. I know Mayor Rustino is part of our call today, and certainly Director Nanula. If you'd like to add or offer any comments, you're welcome to do that now.
I appreciate the opportunity, Chairwoman. All I can tell you is I'm also proud of the work that This is Mayor Robert Rustino. I apologize for not identifying myself as indicated. I appreciate the opportunity to speak, as well as I'm very proud of the work that the conference center has done. I would just ask everyone to please be cognizant of the fact that this particular pandemic crisis locally is going to be significant for all of our activities. We are developing various scenarios here in City Hall on how to address the economy going forward. So with all of your help, and if you have any other thoughts that you'd like to pass on to City Hall, we are interested in all of your ideas. It's going to be a challenge coming out of this. I think the governor has indicated that as well. So while we're all planning for the public health crisis that this is, we also need to make sure that we're preparing for the economy going forward.
Yes. Paul, if you'd like to offer any comments, otherwise, if I may have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Director Nanula, I motion to adjourn.
So moved. The motion carries. I want to thank you, Paul, and certainly Michael, for participating today. And to all of you at USA Niagara, Anthony and your team, and all of you in New York, thank you for helping us put this together today. And I look forward to our next meeting where we'll all be together in person. Until then, though, please stay well, and I wish you all a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you.